watching Gordon, Gino, and Fred. You know, they do those trips. The chef Gordon Ramsay and Gino
around Europe.
I was watching them last weekend. It was on my Saturday morning where I just wanted something on while I potted around. And I mean, I just find it absolutely hilarious anyway. Like, they're so funny as a team. Like the English, Italian, and French all on holiday together. But what really made me laugh is just listening to the swear words of Gordon, like the English funny swear words. And
am I right in saying one of the other ones don't like swearing at all?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Fred.
It's so long since I watched it.
I mean,
I think I watched it a very long time ago, but I remember one of them not really liking the swear words and always giving out to Gordon. Gordon's like, ugh, like as if to say it's just part of his vocabulary, you know?
Well, yeah, Gordon's famous for the swearing. But it really made me think of like my dad, because he always says, it's so funny. He always just goes, oh, Gordon Bennett, like anytime anything goes wrong or anything. And then it made me think of you and the way you're always, I don't know why, like Irish people always say, oh, you know, in your hole or back in your hole. And, you know, you mean arsehole, right? I'm like, I'm getting it right. Am I?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a clue what your father's words are.
Well, Gordon Bennett, I looked
Bennett?
it up once because he says it all the time for everything. Instead of like fuck or, you know, anything that would irritate you and you'd say a swear word like shit, or he always just goes, Gordon Bennett. And I looked it up because he said it so much. And apparently it was this aeronautical engineer and he was known for always screwing things up. So it became a funny thing. Whenever anything was wrong, people would say, Gordon Bennett. It's the most random story.
So does anyone in your family curse, like actual words?
Yeah, well, that's my dad cursing, is when he goes, Gordon Bennett.
Oh, that's so cute. And what you're referring to with the Irish, we're more like, we most say like, oh, I will in my hole.
Yeah.
Like, I will in my hole. Like, I will in my hole. Like, as if to say, like, as if I'm going to do that, get fucked. Like, yeah. It's like, I will in my hole. Oh, are you heading out tonight? I am in my hole.
Like, I know, it's just so random though that like all Irish people say it and no one else. Why? I mean, I don't. When you first said it to me, I was like, what a horrible thing to say. Like,
you've come so far with my language. My favorite, I actually called Sandro this the other day, and he laughed his head off. Like, I called him a gobshite. I was like, "Oh, you fucking gobshite!" I love that word, gobshite. Just such a good word.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good word. Of course, Egypt.
Yeah.
Egypt is another good one.
That reminds me of one of our friends. Like, she always says things like that. Like, she refuses to admit that she used to say this phrase, but it always, whenever I heard it after I left Queenstown after my first year, I'd always think of her, but she'd always go, oh, that's deadly.
Oh,
Fiona. She'd go, oh, deadly.
Had to be one of them. Deadly boy. Oh, that's deadly. Oh my God. I used to say that as a teenager, 100%. Oh, that's deadly. Sean says it. And when you listen to the podcast, the two Johnnies, they say a lot of that stuff. I went to school with one of them. And their accent, when I listen to their podcast, I'm like, oh my God, that's everyone at home. Yeah. And I really feel out of the loop when I listen to them because their accent is so thick and I forget I've lost so much of mine. Like, obviously, I'm still very Irish. But yeah, when I listen to them and they say funny things and when they say like, oh, he's a bloody idiot. And I'm just like, oh my God. And, oh, that's deadly. Oh, that's deadly. How did you get into that? That's deadly.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, I'm listening to them going like, oh, I used to say that. And my younger brother, he sounds so like them. Oh my God, he'd kill me if I said that. Because like when you're from someplace and like they've gone outside the loop of that, right? Like they're nationally and internationally, I suppose, famous at this stage. And when where you're from, like I said something at home one day and I was just like, oh, I was listening to the two Johnnies just before coming home, like to get myself up to scratch with what's happening. And they were like, I don't mind those two, the bleeding gobshites. I'm just, because they're from there, like people are used to either seeing
Yeah.
them, or I suppose it's just because you're from there, people are not sick of you, but they're, they've moved on. Um, and yeah, everyone's just like, I don't mind them, they're letting
I
gobshites.
remember when I came to visit
Fantastic.
you
Oh,
and as we stayed with your mum, and what I found absolutely just hilarious. I mean, I will never say this word on a podcast,
oh,
but
I'll
yeah,
say it.
they're a good
I will.
one and they're a bad one. And like I remember your brother was getting married and your mum was talking about the vicar and she was like, yeah, he's a good see. And I was like, what? You're talking about the man of God?
Oh, did you
Yeah.
say
Oh, he's a good I'm not saying that word.
that? I thought you were saying something else. She's got quite the way with
She
words.
has.
She'd be cancelled for sure. She'd be cancelled because I mean she loves a certain phrase, and I always just thought it was an Irish thing, but I think it's my mother's thing.
What is it?
Um, if someone said like, "Oh, are you going to go for a run? Are you going
What's
to
the
what?"
word?
She's like, well, if I have to
Oh,
put it
okay.
into like dialect, like let's say you'd say to her like, "Oh, you're going to go for a run today?" She's like, "I'd prefer to eat my fanny." She's just like, "I would literally prefer to eat my fanny. I'd eat my fanny before I do that. Oh, I'd eat my fanny before I do that." That's what she says. She's so
What would you say?
mental. I can't believe she said that about the
Yeah,
priest.
I know. Well, nor could I. I was really shocked, but then I just thought, oh, the Irish, you know, no holds barred.
So is that a real Irish Kiwi thing then? To like call someone a good cunt?
Yeah, they say that in New Zealand, don't they? But yeah, I just heard it a lot when I was in Ireland,
Mm.
and yeah, I just found it. It's a real shocking word in England that you wouldn't use that word. But what's your favourite swear word?
Why? Why is it?
What's
Ooh.
your like most
I mean, my
satisfying one
favorite.
to use?
Just fuck off. Just plain and simple. Just fuck
Really?
off. Yeah, I
It's
think I like
it
it. I
does
think I
say
just like
everything,
it.
doesn't it, when you say that?
It, it kind of does. And it can be good or bad. I know that might sound crazy, but with the Irish, it can be good or
Mm.
bad. Yeah, just a simple old, good old. I mean, back in the day, I think one of I will my arse. Yeah, that was arse is a good one. I definitely gobshite is another good favorite. But like I think over here there's different slang words, and then you kind of get used to not using some. But fuck off is
Yeah,
universal in every
everyone knows.
country. It doesn't even have to language doesn't even have to change. If you're not fluent in a language, or it doesn't matter what country I go to, people get the gist. And there's even sign language for fuck off. So
See, I'd say my favourite
to
one,
know,
like, it's more like a frustration thing when, like, say you, like, I don't know, hit your finger with a hammer or something and just go, "Oh, bollocks!" And that's
bollocks.
like it's a
Ooh.
really good one, like, to to use.
Yeah, to let
Yeah,
it
just
all
to
out.
really just get it out of just like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I
I'm
actually
so
say
proud
some
of you. Look
quite
at us
polite
sitting
swear
here.
words, like, instead of fuck or fucking or whatever, I'd say frickin', 'cause I don't know why, like, and a very London one, which I say all the time, and when I was traveling, like, people would just be totally shocked when I'd say it because they only expect it in movies, but I'd always say like, "Oh, cool, blimey," and people would always look at me funny. But I feel like that's actually quite normal from where I'm
You're
from.
so innocent. Is it? I think where you're from, the whole fact that you're actually like getting frustrated and saying someone's name who used to make a lot of mistakes is it's out there. Look at you go.
Oh,
Look at you
Gordon
go, you
Bennett.
bloody rebels. What is it? Oh, Gordon, was
Gordon
it?
Bennett. There you
Oh,
go.
Gordon
Everyone.
Bennett. Oh, ye rebels without a cause.
Next time you
Yay.
want to swear or screw something
Oh
up,
my God, that's
call on
hilarious.
Gordon Bennett.
Gordon Bennett. Gordon fucking Bennett. I feel like we're in Step Brothers. The Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer. God, must watch that movie. Also, I was thinking I did a bride's hair today on a trial, and I was thinking just how amazing it is how women have just, I mean, when I hear their stories about their businesses and all of that, I'm pretty sure, our grandparents weren't listening to other women talking about having their business and having their kids and supporting the household. And it's fascinating. I just love how women have stepped into their power, and how nowadays, like, you've got more say in what you can or cannot do. Look at us sitting here doing the podcast, messaging Sandro, being like, "I'll be home when I'm home, bitch." Right?
No, totally. Like, I completely agree with that. Like, as if our whole tribe is just waking up and just fiercely going after everything that we want. Like, the amount of people that I speak to that, because of this podcast, people reach out to me now and is like, "Oh my God, like, love what you do. I've been doing this." And even our goal setting party, like, all the amazing fierce women in that group, they're still like using that group and commenting and shouting about what they've achieved. And it's just so impressive, like, that, just to watch,
Yeah.
and be a part of. Like, I mean, we're very much a part of it, that we're striving to, achieve everything that we set out to achieve. And it's tough, but because I feel like you have to work a little bit harder as a woman.
I've never been a man, so I can't say that anything for sure. All I know is that we definitely have stepped up into breaking down the barriers of feeling like a people
Yeah.
pleaser, or feeling like we look a certain way to please other
Yeah.
people, and we're worried about what people think of us. I think we're breaking down all that crap, so that, like you said, we can fiercely go where no man has gone before. Yeah, I think we're just breaking down barriers, and so are men, really, to be fair. I'm obviously way more prouder of the women, and selfishly the two of us. But I saw Sandro break down some barriers in the last 12, 13 months as well, just accepting that I am the breadwinner at the moment. And like, I think that took a little bit for him to swallow as
Yeah.
well. And I think, like you said, it took a little bit for me to step up into that, and work through it as well. Because it's so easy just to be like, "Oh my God, I'm so busy."
I'm so busy. That should be our new caption of just, "I'm so busy."
Mate, the amount of people that have said it to me since the last podcast has gone out, they see me and they're like, "Listen to the podcast, you're so busy." And I'm
I
like, "Oh my
know.
God,
I can't help saying
that's
it
a
to people now as
catchphrase
well.
for
And if people
sure."
haven't listened to the podcast, when they say to me like, "Oh, I'm so busy," I'm like, "Oh, you're so busy," and they're just like, why are you doing that to me?" And I'm like, "Oh no, sorry, it was just part of our episode."
I know. Got to be careful and not come across as pretentious pricks. Um, yeah, no, I
That's
think it's
another
great.
good
I
swear
think
word,
we're in a
prick.
great time.
That's quite
Prick.
aggressive. I remember
Yeah, that's
my
like,
ex boyfriend. He always used, I asked him once, like, what would be the most offensive word somebody would call you, and he said a prick. I was like, wow, why?
wow.
Anyway, back to women are smashing it,
That
not
is
the
so.
prick.
Yes, they are. They are smashing it. obviously we're just speaking as women. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like you're also like you're by choice being single because no one has stepped up to the mark for you. Like, God, go back an X amount of years and that wouldn't have been the case. Like, you would have been classed as a witch by now and burnt at the sticks, which are also called faggots now that we're talking about not swear words, but everyone's so like, you can't call anyone a faggot. A faggot is a stick that they used to put on the ground to burn the witches.
Really?
They got the faggots to put at the bottom of the, yeah, that's what a faggot actually is. They're sticks that were put in the fire to then burn the witches with.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is this another thing like the worming tablet?
Yeah, so that's that.
Which was true. Totally good.
Yes, thank you. It is true. Do you know what? I'm after going down an awful rabbit hole of oh, and by the way, castor oil, amazing. Like, it's amazing for everything. I looked that up too.
I'm using it every night.
And then I said to Sandra, I was like, yes. And people have been asking me, is Charlotte using castor oil? And then some people are actually looking it up, going like, is she crazy? Is she not? And I'm like, I don't know. You can tell me. Look it up quickly there while we're together.
Yeah. It's the only thing that actually soaks
amazing for
through your skin. So the benefits go straight into your gut.
Yes. Well. I said it to Sandro, and he was like, "Castor oil is incredible for you."
Yeah, I've got it. I put it on my hair. I like fully soak my hair in it once a week, and I put it on my face every night. And I put it on my stomach probably twice a week. But every night I put it on my face, and I have noticed like just clearer skin, like the lines aren't as indented. It's been amazing. It's like a miracle.
Have you seen that big? Yeah, but they're talking about miracle. They're talking about like beef tallow as well is going across the internet like an absolute raging storm, putting like beef fat or whatever for all the essential oils on your face. But then professionals are coming out and saying like it's going to clog your pores, you're going to get worse problems. So I'm trying to read up on it to see about either or, but I think castor oil is definitely. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, that's an age-old trick is castor oil. But I remember years ago, like probably like 20 years ago, when on Grainne and Norton, I think we spoke about this before. And the owner of the body shop was on there, and she was like, "Do you know what the best thing for your skin is?" She's like, "But I'm not allowed to bottle it. It's sperm. If you rub sperm on your face." But she was like, "I can't bottle it, but that's the best thing." I was like, "Okay, I'm not trying that." But do you know what?
Let's get a bukkake.
Yeah. You know,
would you like a bukkake facial today?
I feel like, with after watching those documentaries of those, people faking cancer and all sorts of stuff, it's the same with like diets and treatments. And we've spoken about this like quite a bit. But it's so confusing what you're told to do. Like, don't eat root vegetables, they bloat you. Or don't eat fruits because it all turns to sugar. And don't eat this. And don't eat eggs. And it's so freaking confusing. And then I'm obviously, because I'm in my 40s now, I'm seeing lots of stuff for like pre-menopause. And, that's why you haven't lost weight. And then I look at, other people that are in their 40s and they've lost weight. So it's like, well, that's not anything to do with premenopause. It's just your body. But my point is that we just get thrown so much conflicting information that, ignore that, cut it all out. Looking it up on the web doesn't actually give you the answer because it's just whoever's selling what at the moment. Like milk. Milk only became a thing after the war because they had so much milk left over from trying to give it to the soldiers and everything that then made it this thing that you have to have milk and the calcium and when actually our bodies aren't good at processing cow's milk. That there's so many things that we're told just because somebody's trying to make money or somebody's on a new fad, and it gets so confusing to know what to do that just strip it back and exercise and eat well. Ignore all these people because they're only following something else they were told, who got paid to say that so they could push a product. Or sorry, my rant. That was a bit of a rant. But I am feeling so confused at the
It's a
moment
good
of
rant, though.
what
I
should
think the
I be
key is to
doing
listen to yourself. Yeah, there's a lot.
as I
Well,
drink
I
my
think
wine.
it brings you right back to like one of my goals this year is as you drink your wine, awareness, just what
Yeah,
feels good for your body. I'm pretty sure everything in moderation is good, and exercise, and like, I suppose back to, was it the Diary of a CEO or was it Rich Dad Poor Dad? Diary of a CEO, talking about like if you had a car for your whole life, you'd figure out what works for that car, you'd look
yeah,
after it, you'd put it in the garage, you'd clean it. If you were told this is the only car you're ever going to have for the rest of your
yeah,
life, you're not going to go out and batter it. You're not going to let it get like rusted and stuff. Like, you're actually going to consciously look after it. And that's literally the perfect way to talk about the fact that your body is the only body you have for the
yeah,
rest of your life. I mean, if you even try to give an ounce of attention to it, it's speaking to you all the
yeah,
time. It's telling you when it feels good, telling you when you're tired. And also, like, being aware of your body is being aware of, like, whether you're actually brain tired or your soul tired or your heart tired. Like, listen to it. If you're soul tired, go for a walk in the woods or play with the
mm,
cats, in our case. Um, if you're mentally tired, like, just shut down, go to a safe place. Like, that's why so many people like watching Friends, because it's a safe place. They can put it on, they can potter, they don't have to concentrate on it. Like, it's just, there's different things. And if you can actually recognize them and come out with your own roadmap for what works for
mm.
you, then do that. Like, my exercise regime at the moment is amazing. I am just incredible right now. I
Well,
am.
it's that whole thing that, if you don't make time or you don't have time for like health and exercise, then you'll have to make time for illness because, eventually we're all going to get to a point where, you know,
Mm.
you can't bend down or you can't pick things up or, whatever. It doesn't mean like extreme illness, like where your body starts to fail you because you never looked after it. Make time for it, people.
Yeah, it's going to naturally
Mm.
deteriorate. Yeah. Like, it's just going, and then look at what your family genetic wise, maybe go get checked out. Like, my stepfather, there's a genetic heart condition that you don't find till after you're dead. So, but like, if you are aware of that being in your family, he's able to go get
Wow.
tested. Same with my younger brother. Like, yeah, just get tested. Like, um, I don't know. It really is. I really have tried to start to listen to my body, and it's telling me what it likes and doesn't like. And I'm trialing and erroring things too. Because you brought up the milk thing, which is funny because I've cut back on milk massively. Like, I only have a drop of milk in my coffee now rather than frothing up this big thing of milk. And fuck, I feel
Oh,
so
yeah.
good. I mean, that's obviously, I've added and subtracted quite a lot of things to my routine, so I can't pinpoint exactly which. I mean, I don't have time to like try and just do one thing at a time, but I definitely am feeling the difference. That's
I
for
mean,
sure. Especially my energy
yeah,
levels. Oh
I
my
gave
god.
up cow's milk quite a few years ago now. And I mean, to be honest, I mean, like you say, I mean, you don't know what impact it had because you make a lot of changes in your life. But really, around that time, that's probably when I did start to level up because I probably had a bit more focus and energy that I wasn't feeling so sluggish and bloated. I don't know.
Mm.
It's probably got nothing to do with milk, but yeah, I mean, I can't stand it now. It's funny how, like, when you come to mine, you won't drink my almond milk, and you're like, oh, if somebody gave me cow's milk now that I've drunk my whole life, I'm like, oh my god, that's disgusting. That it's funny how you adapt. That you just kind of have to force yourself to learn to like something like almond milk or coconut milk or whatever as a replacement because eventually you love it and then you can't stand the
Mm.
other thing.
Yeah. And like, I've been watching a lot of like documentary clips on YouTube, like with UFC fighters and stuff, and just their routine behind the sport. I know
I'm
I'm
thinking,
knee deep.
Sandro.
I couldn't I know, but I can't. I couldn't hold a conversation about the actual sport of UFC. But you could ask me about any of the fighters. You could ask me about the referees. You can ask me about the guys who judge the cards. You can ask me about I mean, and I physically watch all the fights too, the prelims, everything, and I'm on YouTube watching these guys and what they eat and how they train and how they live their life, and it's absolutely out the gate. But I love their mindset. Like, to get to that level of any sport, their mindset is incredible. Following them has taught me so much. Like, some people go into their house and just follow them all day in their routine with the cameras and stuff and what they eat and how they train. And oh my God, it is quite impressive how disciplined they have to be. Even if they don't like something, they have to find a way of getting it into their body, which is just, yeah, mad. Anyway, that was real sidetrack there, but I'm obviously I'm knee deep in the UFC world in
But I feel
general.
like, you know,
Yeah, like you said,
all these
Sandro.
things do like come from, you know, like life skills, really, of just, you know, that we've picked up along the way from knowledge and experience and, you know, watching other people and learning and progressing all the time. That kind of life skills that have shaped us to who we are today, whether that's, you know, like for me, I did tour guiding around Europe, and that gave me confidence to speak in front of people, which has probably led to me being more comfortable doing this with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, like from that,
Yeah,
I
that's
also
true.
learned to not do the whole, and yeah,
Um, um, and
which
and
I
then I
do
went
hear on like other podcasts, and it always makes me think, because, you know, we'd get punished if we ever did that while we were doing a spiel on the coach, and that I learned a lot of things.
But we were quite chuffed with ourselves after the first few podcasts. Actually, we said that to each other. We said, God, we don't say a lot. Like, I say like,
I just did it.
but we were quite good compared to what I thought we'd be like, because it is one of those things where you pause, you get uncomfortable, you're thinking too much, so that's really good, and it did give you the confidence to sit here today. I think actually I got my confidence to do stuff solo. I played a lot of team sports in Ireland, a lot of team sports, and then when I came to New Zealand, I learned how to snowboard. And of course, I always got to the end of the line and I'd like turn to everyone and I'd be like, oh my God, like that was so fun. How did you get on? And what did you do? Or I saw this and I was treating it as kind of a team sport. And eventually, like the gang of people I went with, we knew each other quite well. And eventually they were like, Grainne, shut the fuck up. Like, our music is on. Like, you pick a line, you go for it, you do it to your own thrill, you pick your music for that. You know, just let yourself go going down the mountain. Forget about what everyone else is doing. And I was like, oh, fine, bastards. That's one we didn't bring up earlier on. And then I did that, and it kind of changed the way I even snowboarded, and it gave me a kind of confidence in just myself doing something. And I think that it's such a wee small thing, but I think in hindsight, when I look back at it, I think it gave me an awful lot of solo confidence.
Yeah.
And how to appreciate something just with me in my head, doing it how I want to do it and picking a line.
And we talked about this. We talked about this before with I want to circle back to the snowboarding, but we talked about this before about the whole thing of, you know, when you have an idea and you always say to someone, "Oh, let's do it together." And actually, if you just get the confidence to do it on your own, it will be exactly how you want it. You won't have to compromise on anything. Like, it's that confidence to do, you know, for years I was asking people if they wanted to start an agency, and I'm so glad I did it on my own. But circling back to the snowboarding, I remember when you first started out and I came up the mountain and you were just on the baby slopes, like the kiddie ones, and going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was like, the only way you'll learn is if you get on a lift and come up to the top, and you just have to make your way down. And it was so funny. We get off the lift. I mean,
It was
I'm terrible with the lift anyway. And so we both basically went face down as we got off the chairlift. And then we're going down and you just went straight into the fence. Like, there was no stopping you. You just went straight into the fence. And then this guy came in behind you, went straight into the fence, and you both, your boards and legs got tangled. like from the angle that he went in.
Yeah.
And then you were just like, "You're right." And it turned out wasn't he one of your clients or something? It was
And
yeah.
Irish. Two Irish idiots stuck in a
And you just
fence.
looked at me and you're like,
We were literally
"Yeah,
stuck in a
great idea,
fence.
Charlotte. Take me up to the top."
Everyone was like, who left Charlotte bring Grainne on a chairlift? Who let that
Oh, fun
happen?
times.
But hey, listen, I got there in the
Yeah.
end. And it probably wasn't the worst idea just to shove me on the chairlift, to be
Well,
fair.
it's that safety net, isn't it? It's getting you out of that comfort zone. And in fairness, that's how I learned was
On the side of a
I went on a
mountain.
ski holiday to Switzerland, I think, with my brother and loads of our friends, and it was mainly a lot of boys. And my brother did the same thing to me. Like I didn't even know I hadn't even put my board on. I didn't even know how to do bindings and stuff. And he just took me to the top of a red run, which is quite an extreme one, and he just went, "Go." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, I can't." And he was like, "There's a glass of wine and a bowl of bolognese at the bottom for you." And I literally just went down on my arse. I just lifted up my legs and just went down.
You're like, I'll have the wine, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I
It
mean,
is a
again, that was a
fucker
life
to learn
skill
that
of
snowboard.
teaching me not to be afraid. Like,
Yeah.
just, so many life skills that we've had. And, we've been very lucky with, the traveling that we've done has meant we've met so many different types of people, different nationalities that, we have gained a lot of life skills. I mean, whether they've been useful to shape our success, I mean, more than likely, because we're quite good with people. But, so many things that we've picked up that other people that, may not kind of leave their hometown or something might not have that ability, that there is some strength in, ensuring that you get out there and live your life.
I saw a lovely thing the other day and it said, if you stay where you're from and you don't enjoy traveling, that's okay. But just remember, you're only seeing one chapter of a huge book. Like, so if you're happy in that chapter and that's it, but, everywhere you go is a different chapter of a book. And the only way to figure out what that chapter has is to go there. I thought that
Yeah,
was
that's
quite a lovely
nice.
way of like putting it. If you want to read the book of life as a true curiosity, like you actually have to physically travel to all these different places, just anywhere, because everywhere is a different chapter. Like, what does your book look like?
Yeah.
Basically.
And I think
I thought
I
that
do
was
think that's really nice. And it made me think, like, that took me like through a load of flashes in my head of all the places I've been and everything. And what I think the biggest thing that we would have gained from that kind of lifestyle is resilience, which you talk about a lot. But resilience, because, I remember being in Thailand and having a sewage shower and, getting through it just so that I could get out the freaking shower, but, you get on with it and you love it. And that was probably one of my best trips ever, even though I had a sewage shower. Resilience to things that aren't normal, that opening yourself up to appreciate the greatness of that experience. God, that sounds very poncy, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, it doesn't at all. And it breaks down like a lot of things. It breaks down the pity party. You can't be going around the world being like, oh, poor me. This happened to me when I was 7. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. Like, no one cares. Everyone's out there to travel, see new things, see new people, talk to new people, or not talk to anybody, but see new things and experience new experiences. And I think that's great to spend your money on. I think it's taught me that I'd like to start creating more experiences with people rather than buying them presents. Not that I do that anyway. I'm pretty useless. But I'd like to start being able to meet my family like halfway, or I'd like to start meeting, change up that little bit of a routine to me and my girls in Ireland. Like we want to go on a retreat or just a holiday, even someplace else. So I'm thinking the next time I fly in or fly out, I'll either fly in with them after we've been someplace, or I'll fly out with them and then I will continue home. So much better than just that normal, just meeting up. Like you always remember going away or doing something
Yeah.
outrageous together rather than just going to each other's houses. So
Well, it's like
mundane.
my last trip and me and two of my school friends going to Rome. I mean, it was amazing. We've never hung out like that together. It was really cool. And for
Yeah,
your birthday, I've got you tickets to Airburn Classic Car Show.
I know. We're going to do a
Yeah, we're
podcast
going to
from
have a
there.
day out, get
I'm really
dressed
excited.
up.
Did you know with the tickets, you're in a competition to
I
win a
know, imagine if
car.
you won it. I'll be like, I am the best present giver
Oh my
ever.
mate, I would also look so sick in this car. Have you seen a
Yeah.
picture of it?
Yeah, it's very
Oh my god, I would look so sick. I would drive that up and down to Lumsden,
nice.
no problem. I hope there's a roof on it though. I hope there's an option
Yeah, there
for a
would
roof.
be.
Um, yeah, hopefully. And also, I had a great Paddy's Day
Oh,
this
do you
year.
know what? And I knew it was Paddy's Day, and I
I
didn't say Happy Paddy's Day to you. I'm so sorry.
I was quite surprised that you didn't. I had people that
All
did.
right, make
I
me
was
feel
quite
bad.
surprised that you didn't. You're usually, yeah, yeah, I will. Surprised that you didn't. I went up to Queenstown with Sandro and we went to
Oh,
Tunashi's. We went to the best Japanese restaurant for
how
lunch.
yum.
Oh my God, isn't it just so good? Oh my God, it's just the best food. We sat there in silence eating. It was fabulous. I also broke the handbrake on the truck. I was driving around the truck and I was on a wee hill and I aggressively pulled the handbrake and I completely snapped it. Fabulous. Drove to the mechanic and he just took it out and said, "Oh my God, I pity Sandro." And I was like, "Well, he's never complained." Um, so that was great. So then we got home and I don't know if he wanted to punish me, but he wanted to get me to. So we decided for Paddy's Day, because I haven't really been drinking and I've got more scars on my body with the anniversary of Paddy's Day from alcohol, but
I've
I'm
even got you.
fine with not drinking. Oh my God, I've got some serious scars that needed serious stitching, but I wouldn't leave the party. I was busy
I was
at the
busy.
party.
Busy.
I was busy bleeding. And I just kind of batched myself up. But so Sandro decided his surprise for me for Paddy's Day was to get some weed butter. But I think it was in more of a coconut oil. So he made us a smoothie. Needless to say, about half an hour after having said smoothie, he already apologized for how much he
Oh,
put into
no.
it. And he literally fucked me up. I did not whitey. I did not whitey, but there was times we were both, he couldn't lie down. I couldn't sit up. When I closed my eyes, it was game over, people. I was seeing colors. I was flying into the universe. I was flying around the stars. I was having epiphanies. It was like someone gave me full blown acid. We were out in the garden together. We've no idea what we were doing. I'm pretty sure I was rubbing one of the cats on my
Oh, I do that
face
all the time
for
anyway.
quite a long time. I was like, oh, isn't it just the best? And when you've got that, like, touch the furry wall. What's that movie?
Oh,
Touch the
yeah,
furry
that's,
wall.
what is it,
Touch
The
the furry wall.
Hangover?
Oh, is it? I don't even know which one it is. It's like, just touch the furry wall. And I was rubbing the cats on my face. I had the best. I was asleep by like 9:30. It
Amazing.
was the best time ever. Yeah, we got real fucked up. I was lying on the ground. He was laughing at me. He was making me food, which was so good. Honestly, the munchies are a different level altogether.
Talking of, munchies, I, I've had an
Oh, yes.
abundance of tomatoes in my veggie garden this year, and, I've just been stuck with what to do with them, and yesterday afternoon, I decided, "Right, I'm gonna make an Italian tomato sauce," and do you know what? I had just the best afternoon. I mean, my
Oh my
story
God, you're
sounds
such a
so
nonner.
tame compared to yours, like, but I was so, I had to all the tomatoes, I had to take all the skins off to make the sauce and stuff, so I soaked them in boiling water, and then as I got them out, I mean, there was hundreds. I was then, like, popping all the tomatoes to, like, get the seeds, get the skins to come off, and I was standing there doing all these tomatoes, and it all just smelled like because everything was already cooking in the slow cooker. I just felt like an Italian Nona. And I was just having the best afternoon,
Nice.
and I just thought, oh my God, this to me is pure joy. Like just squeezing these tomatoes with all these Italian smells coming at me. Oh, it was heaven.
I actually watched a movie last week I forgot to tell you about, and it's about a girl who bought a €1 house in
Oh,
Italy.
I saw that movie. It's really crap, isn't it? The movie.
It's the
Yeah.
shittest
But
movie.
yeah,
It's a
and you
love
don't
story
get
about her
houses
dad
like
or
that for
something.
€1. Like that was rubbish. I know the movie you're
Okay.
talking about, but you don't get those type of houses. Like
Well, I just needed something to zone out, just in the, and Sandro just pressed play, and I was like, "Oh, Charlotte would like this." But there you go. It
Well,
was
no,
a
I
shit
mean, I
movie.
have watched it, and I did watch it all the way through. So although it was cheesy and a bit rubbish and unrealistic, I still watched the whole
Oh.
thing. So
You're also English, calling yourself a nanu, so you have to get something in Italy or over there at
I
some
know,
stage.
right?
Yeah, you just have to. I tell everyone now. I'm just like, well, I don't know. I'm moving to Italy at some stage, apparently.
Well, I even had a chat with the
Better
accountant
Charlotte.
the other week of starting to prepare for where should I bank? What
Oh,
country? So yeah, I'm thinking like Monaco, Dubai,
Ireland.
Malta, anywhere that's tax free.